Hey there. I am trying out the record option in Restream. One, to see if I can keep it to just 30 minutes. And two, just to show some of what I've been working on. Some of which you may already know, I guess, maybe from earlier this week. Let me I want to move my phone. Okay. So this page, well, this is the book Hidden Oceans from Rita Berman. And as I mentioned before, I seem to have an affinity to like ocean books. I don't know why. Um, so I did a little bit of work in this book. Ooh, dropping things. Still have pencils I need to put away. That's always the case. Put them away and then still wind up with more out. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. I guess because I'm always coloring in between doing other things. Anyway, so I did some work on here. Colored the squid. I colored in the penguins a little bit. Um, did a little bit of work on the whale. I think I did a little bit of work on the octopus too. Did a little bit of work on some of the sand. Um, so I kind of, let's see. Oh, I did work on the fish, which I don't know if I like how I colored their faces. I think I'm going over that with acrylic marker. Um, and then I did some work on the dolphin, just like shading or something, trying to put some differentiation between the colors in here a little bit more. Um, I still need to do the outside here. Um, so that's something I have left to work on, and then I have left to work on this. I colored in the sail, like it seemed like a sail was supposed to be white, but um, it looked weird having it just sitting there, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it to make it, I don't know, something. I didn't want to just leave it uncolored, and so yeah, so I colored that in with some blue. I'm still gonna do some work on that because I don't know how I feel about that. Um, so I just did little things on this page, and I didn't do anything on this page yet, the mandala esque one, because I'm still thinking about what I want to do. And it hasn't come to me yet, so I'm just until it comes to me, I'm just gonna leave it. And then I did a little something on here, and I also discovered something that I wound up doing it in another book in trying to figure that out. Um, but I in another book, and I'll show you that in a minute. I was trying to figure out how to not have streaks in the using a acrylic marker. Even though with this one, I like the streaks because I feel like it gives it that kind of texture, like watery kind of feel. But I'm going to do some other things to this to kind of give it that kind of watery feel. Um, Also trying to figure out how to fix this. I don't know what happened here, but I can't remember. It must have been the order of how I did something or whatever. So I still have to cover this up, but I got time for that. I can make that work for me somehow anyway and make it something else going on in this section. But what I did was I actually used my Posca pen, my white Posca pen, the what is it, the 7 millimeter one, and okay, that's not very focused, is it? 7 millimeter one, and I just did little squiggles down because I'm also thinking of putting bubbles in here, but I gotta get my head around like how I do that and just really focus on it when I do them so that it looks like water. And then I'm probably gonna do something else after those bubbles around them to kind of, I don't know, make it look more like water or something. Make it more aesthetically pleasing to myself for sure. Um, So, that's what I did with this one. So this is a work in progress. I'm still thinking about what other mediums I want to use in here, like on the fish and the flowers. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure of the colors. It's like I'm still working on the background, I guess, and that's the only thing really that I feel like I really have some kind of idea of where I want to go with it. So after I finish that, if something doesn't click in my head along the way, I will just I'll think about it after looking at the background after I've done everything that I've wanted to do to it up to that point. Um, but I really like the addition of these little squiggles. I really do. That did something for me. It made something in my head click off, like say, yeah, okay, so that works. I didn't do anything else in here today. Oh yeah, I have been. I forgot the seahorse page. I've just been coloring more in this a little bit here and there. I actually went in with something new that I acquired. Um, these are actually just ballpoint pens. I got them because I was on the search for something that would be broad enough and dark enough to go over like really waxy foundations, like when you've colored a lot on a particular page, and the pencils and everything that's on it is really waxy. I haven't found a fine liner yet that will really go over that that much work. Um, and I happen to be playing around in a I'm trying to find the page while as I talk. Let's see, is it up here? Yep, it is. I was playing around on a page that's kind of a throwaway page. I have a PDF of this, so I wasn't worried about messing it up. But like, I'm consistently just dissatisfied with this page, and they've thrown a lot of stuff at it. And I was experimenting with it. I don't know. One day I just went in because it's like I don't know, something's not right with it. I don't know what it is, and I just took like a simple Bic pen. What are these called? Velocity pen. Um, and started outlining. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. That was kind of changing it in a way that I kind of liked it. And there's a lot of stuff that's on this. Um, there's a lot of waxiness to this page now because of everything I've tried to do to it and with it. And this went over these lines without a problem. And so I thought to myself, well, what would happen then if I actually had ballpoint pens that were of different colors? And so I wound up buying these. I went searching for different ones, and it's kind of hard to find many different colors, a large variety of colors in ballpoint pens. So I'm still going to keep my eye out for more. Um, but I found these. They're called Schneider Slider Basic, and they have a really nice point. This is ballpoint, and I think it'll say on there. Da, 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 da. It'll say somewhere. I think they're 1.0. I can't tell for sure. They're either 0.07 or 1.0 millimeter tip. And they are ink. Okay, ink like you write with an ink pen, just a common ink pen, just like my Bic Velocity pen. Um, and so I'm still gonna play around with this page more with the ink pen, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna use these or just keep using my Velocity to see how that turns out. This is my experimental page. Um, But I did go in on this page with one of these pens. Use this one. It's like a kind of pinkish red, and I really liked what it did. Um, I went in on this in here. I think I kind of outlined a little bit. I went on the inside of here, and then I actually went over it with pencil a little bit too, because it was kind of like, okay, that's too hard of a line. So I kind of went over it and blended it in a little bit with pencil. I outlined some of these so it would stand out more, because some of the colored pencil was getting too, it was like too smudgy, and I wanted more of a definite line. Um, did have thoughts about maybe outlining some things in black, but I don't know how I feel about that. So I kind of like the idea of blending it in with the color that it is. Um, and I also went in with some pencil in here too. Like in here, I used my violet Prismacolor and did some shading in here, kind of darkening of some spaces. And let's see, I actually outlined this. I think I outlined this with the Schneider pens as well. And I could probably go over it again in some places, because I think I also did pencil over it too after I did the ballpoint pen. So, yeah, so that was interesting. I'm gonna try and find some more multicolored, sets or whatever of ballpoint pens, because I really, I don't know. There's, I guess if you can find, well, see, I did buy a set of, and actually I have one here of Sharpies, a set of different colors, but they weren't really covering over the waxy stuff either. They weren't doing as I would think a Sharpie would do, and this is pink, so let me see if this one will do it. I didn't use this one; it happens to still be out. Um, yeah, you got to do too much work. It's like this is not really. It's not giving. It's not really going over the wax like I would expect. Like how Sharpies act normally. I would expect it to do that, but no, I'm not. I'm not getting anything. And that was the whole reason why I bought that set. And so I was really disappointed that they don't do what I wanted them to do. Um, these seem more like something that you would use if you're just drawing specifically with these. They don't really seem to be like a coloring kind of thing. Um, and so this was like another fail as far as trying to find something that would outline. Um, hmm. So that's what I've been doing in this book. My progress on those pages. Um, so about the background, the blue background with the acrylic marker. Oh, that's the wrong. Oh no, that is the right book. I was looking at some of my old books to see if there's something else I wanted to color in while I wait for my brain to connect with some other things, like the background of some pages in Little Folks. I need to figure out what to do with the background, and I really want to do that. And I don't want to color anything else in the book until I can figure out something for the background. So while I'm thinking about that, I went to this book because I know I had colored some pages in here. This is Cosmic Spirit. It's Fabiana Atanasio mythographic. Of course, Joseph Kattenbach is my favorite from the mythographic illustrators. I even pulled on another book that I had. It's by Kolinska. It's Crystal Kingdom. And yeah, I really wasn't feeling that book. But someday I will, but I sure wasn't yesterday. I was like, nah, that's not it. I was thinking that was it, and it wasn't it. Okay, I like this page. I love this page. Although looking now, I can see some things I can do to it to kind of, bring some things out. So I'll probably go back and do that. But I love this page. I think this is the first time I colored a mythographic page, and I really felt like I was rolling with it the whole time because I actually colored this really quickly compared to how long it takes me to do other ones. I didn't put a date on it. But I did this last year. Yeah, there's some things I can do with this to kind of make some things just a tiny bit of tweaking, little things. Um, I love this page. I don't know where I came up with these colors, but I love them. Um, and there's this one, and I think looks like I used acrylic marker in there. And it's actually not finished. I actually went in and kind of, because I had a brown Prismacolor out, I went in and kind of darkened some of the, outlines of things or whatever. But yeah, I still have more work to do on this one. I don't know what made me think of black on this side, but I really like that. Black on this side and then the pink on this side. And then I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know how I came up with the colors, but I like them. Black, orange, and pink. Black, orange, pink, and green. I'm going to have to remember that palette. So I started working in this page also because I had a violet Prismacolor that was out. And I was like, I don't know, there was something about this page that was bugging me, just that it was so, I don't know, the colors were so muted and it looked like just fuzzy and everything. And I was like, can I bring this out a little bit? Looking at it now, okay, it has improved a little bit, but I think there's a whole lot I need to do with this. I can see. I don't know. I colored that in red the other day too to see like, well, what would happen if I put this color, because it was all purple, yellow, and green, and I thought in black, and I was like, is that just too boring? But I didn't know what other color to put in it. I don't know how you feel about that, but I figured I can cover it up anyway. Remember, there's acrylic markers; they cover up everything. Um, I did go in with a brown to kind of bring out the thing with this chalice, and I think I'm going to put some white Posca marker in here. Yeah, there's a lot that I need to do with this. I did go in and I worked on her hair, and I think, I don't know, I may have actually used the red in here in some spots. I don't remember, but I used my Prismacolors to kind of darken her hair. I know. I remember that. I kind of blended this in a little bit more with my Color Burnisher. Um, Used a violet Prismacolor to kind of bring this down because I kind of want to look like it's like a hole that things are coming up out of. Um, which kind of gives me an idea for the color I can do for here. I could make it purple. Just thought of that and make it like, yeah, something. Um, and I don't know. I hate to resort to my unicorn, mythical unicorn, um, Mandalama, but I might do that with this, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to catch a vision for it. Or what would happen if I colored it dark purple and then did a white Posca marker to kind of bring out whatever with it? I don't know. I don't know. It's still a work in progress. I don't know what color to make the moons. Um, I did go in and I did a little bit of darkening of the edges and things on the runes. And then I colored this rune because I discovered it wasn't colored at all, so I colored that one in. Um, I could probably change the color of the runes. They don't have to be brown like stone. Um, so even though I did very little things, I really love her hair. Like I said, I got a thing about red hair, and I think it's because of my first best friend I ever had when I was like 5 years old. She had red hair, so red auburn hair that was cut in a bob. Tracy was her name. She's no longer with us. I hope to see her in heaven. Um, but yeah. So I do like the little bits that I did in here. But this is still definitely a work in progress. This book overall kind of disturbs me because I was looking at some others to see is there another page I can color in here, just to kind of I don't know, because I do like her illustrations in this book. No, but some of the pages are just I can't get with it. This one I kind of was thinking about. I don't mind that one, but I want to be totally out from the natural, or what, like coloring leaves green and the fox, I don't know, red, or well, I wouldn't mind a red fox. Um but yeah, I want it to stay in fantasy realm and keep my colors in fantasy realm. If I do this one, I probably am going to do that. I'm feeling this one today. It has a face, it's got hair. I love coloring hair, no matter how tedious it can be and how frustrating it is sometimes to make it get to the color you want without things smudging and all that. But yeah, I might wind up doing this one. Yeah, see, some of these just really disturb me. It's like, no. So I'm looking at some of them and trying to figure out how can I just kind of how can I color it in a way where I neutralize it, the thing about it that bothers me. Because that can be a skill in coloring too. Just like how some people will take a Kirby page and um, just black out all those doodles, color over them, and so you don't even know they're there. There's a way to do that. I don't like anybody doing anything to cats. Don't be doing that. What are you doing with them cats? I guess I got to think of them not as cats, but that's hard because they look like cats. Ooh, child. I kind of don't mind this one in a way. I don't know, because it's a I don't know. It's still weird. Don't mind this one either. I don't know. I might be coloring this one along with the lady, but I gotta go totally fantasy zone. That I think that's going to be my requirement for these pages. Don't try to be realistic. Stay in fantasy zone and see what happens with how that expands my coloring, because I think that's what happened with this page. And I think that's what helped me color it. So anyway, let's not go through more of this book. I solved a problem. I developed a skill from this page. I learned something. Now this is the page in where did I just put it? In hidden hidden oceans with the streaky. I was like, no, I can't. I have a lot of acrylic pens, and I can't be doing backgrounds and having them all look streaky, and me struggling trying to cover up the streaks with pencil or whatever else. I can't be doing that. So I was like, one night I just was like, I didn't have that much to do that I could do as far as coloring, because I had a lot of work to do, and I was tired too. So I just went in and says, you know what? In a way, I don't care what this page turns out to be like. So this is one to experiment with. But because I had started it, I do want to finish the page. And so I had no background to this page at all. And that was something I didn't know how to go forward with. I had my navy blue tan mint pen out. Did I put those pens back or is it still out? So many pens, so little time. There we go. They are out. I really like these a lot. I like them a lot. Tan mint. Nice case too. So I went in with my blue. Where's my blue? Which is one of the only blues that seems to be anywhere like sky, like night sky blue for me. Like, midnight blue in the Crayola set. It's this marker here. Does it have a name or just a number? I think it just has a number. C36. Yeah. Just a number. So I went in with that and I realized that I think I went over at first. I went over just kind of however it was, to get around things. And then, like, of course, just kind of, you could see like some streakage going on in some spots where I had enough room for it to do that. Okay, I know that's why did they do that? But they dry quickly. So what I wound up doing was going over the parts that were streaked, or going over the whole thing. Actually, just went over the whole thing, just so because I wanted an even look. And I did what Bubbles taught me to do with the colored pencil, lightly, like in circles. I did that with the acrylic marker. And, excuse me. And so now I have a smoother look to my background. You don't see any streaks. And there's more continuity in the background. So I just learned something this week. I'm so excited because been a thing that's been kind of on my mind for a while. But it's like couldn't wrap my head around now. How do I fix it? How do I fix it? And I want to get a look on camera about this. Is the last section I started working on, and so it still looks like like this, but and I can go in and fix that if I want to. I'm not sure. I may kind of leave it in this way because it kind of like the lines that it left. I can actually do something with that, like actually accentuate those lines with pencil. I don't know how they wound up that way, but I like them. And I did color over some of these things as well. I didn't leave all of them. It would have been too hard. There were stars in here too. It was too hard to try and color around the stars. So I did not leave them. So I'm going to color those back in like with a Posca marker or something like that. So that I have one more thing. I have 2 minutes to make this 30 minutes. Where did I just put it? I actually pulled out in my search for something to work on in between thinking of how to do backgrounds on things. I have a used copy of Worlds Within Worlds. I also have a spiral bound copy of this book, but that's new. I'm saving that one for me to play around after I play around with it. In this one, it was owned by somebody else. That's who it was owned by. Um, and they had started this page. I don't know if they'd started. Did they start any other pages? Yes, I think that might be the only page they colored. And all they colored was they had used pencil lightly. They had like a yellow pencil and some kind of pale green pencil that they had lightly gone over parts of this. And it was barely anything. I think they only did this side too. And so I said, well, since it was they already started this one, let me with some kind of color, let me just go in. And I think they had it light enough where I could actually color over and make the colors different, or even use what they had on here as underpainting. And so I worked with that, and I used um, the King Art gel sticks. I used those to kind of to create this background and to work with what they had, which I found like it wasn't getting in the way at all of me using the King Art gel sticks. It actually kind of worked with it. And then I also used the some Prismacolors, like the dark green, some kind of weirdo olive color. I'm trying to find it, but I don't think I can find it quickly. It's sitting here right by me, but I got so many pencils piled up next to me that it's not even funny. Um, and so I think I used like three different King Art gel sticks, and one was kind of I don't remember. It's like a pale green. I used the kind of a darker, like a kind of a turquoise, and a color that says it's ivory, but it really came off as yellow, and I don't know if that's because of the previous owner's pencil work or not, but it actually worked. Um, so I was working on this last night. Um, so yeah, and I am gonna try to get out of realistic zone a little bit with this page, but I don't know how to do it. But this is the wonder I think of a used book is like you don't care too much if you mess it up. And I have another copy of this book, so um, I want to play a bit. I want to think of a plan for the houses. Um, I'm really thinking about the colors that I want to use in here a little bit more. I thought about making the trees some kind of fantasy color, but obviously I didn't, at least not with this one. I may make some of them a kind of fantasy color. Um, I can still turn this color into a fantasy color by whatever I add to it, whether with pencil or with acrylic marker, gel pen. Um, but I'm not sure. I love brown, so it's sometimes hard for me not to break out with the brown. As you can see, I colored this other creature kind of purple. I don't know if it's going to be purple undertone or if it's just going to be purple. I don't know. We'll find out. So that's it for my coloring update for this week. So you'll probably see me working on one of these, maybe something new too. I still need to work on the Jasmine Beckett Griffith Halloween book, the page with the wolf. So I still have that to do, but I'm not really feeling like working on water, and I can't really work on. I don't know. My brain. I have a lot of stuff to do for working, so I don't want to. When I sit down to color, I want to relax, and if I feel like working with a particular medium or on a particular page isn't going to help me relax, then I just don't do it. I wait until I do feel relaxed to work on it or have a presence of mind to work on it. So, um, so that's it for me for now. I'm probably going to do this as an upload because I'm not live right now. I'm just recording. Um, so, I'll see you in the lives of other folks in the coloring community and have a good rest of your day.